In a world that seems to throw a new curveball at us every single week, you have to wonder, how do some organizations manage to not just survive, but actually get stronger? Well, today we're going to dive into a framework designed to do just that.
This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When the unexpected happens, a huge market shift, a supply chain crisis, you name it, what separates the companies that stumble from the ones that seem to pivot and thrive almost effortlessly? I'll tell you what, it's not luck. It's all about design. And it really boils down to two completely different ways of operating. On one hand, you've got survival mode. You're always reacting, always on the back foot, and honestly, kind of brittle. But on the other hand, you have organizations that thrive. Why? Because they're proactive, they're adaptable, and they are genuinely resilient. The goal, of course, is to get from that first column over to the second one.
So, how do we actually make that journey? Well, it starts with what we're calling the resilience imperative. Think of it as a modern playbook for building organizations that don't just put up with change, but actually harness it for their own good. At the very heart of this playbook is the Business Resilience Framework, or BRF for short. And you should really think of it as a strategic blueprint. See, it's not just about bouncing back from a crisis, it's about embedding adaptability so deep into your company's DNA that you can just power right through any disruption. And this gets right to the core of the whole BRF philosophy. This is not about tearing everything down and starting over from scratch, not at all. It's about a strategic evolution. It's about finding and leveraging the strengths you already have to build something even stronger. Of course, any big strategic shift like this has to start at the top. Your leadership, the C-suite, they have to be the architects of this new resilience. It's on them to lead the charge. So the C-suite's role isn't just to approve the plan and walk away, they have to drive it. And they do that through 5 interconnected pillars. It all starts with alignment, making sure resilience is a part of your core strategy. Then, that alignment makes it a no-brainer to justify allocating resources. From there, leaders have to champion the culture, which is then measured and guided by strong governance. And finally, the glue that holds it all together is constant communication, making sure everyone at every single level is on board. And here's the good news. When leaders really take on those responsibilities, the payoff isn't just some theory. It delivers very real, very tangible benefits for the entire organization. And what you get is this incredible, powerful feedback loop. Your organization becomes more agile and way better at managing risk. That, in turn, creates a solid foundation for sustainable growth. It fosters a positive culture that keeps your best people around, and ultimately, it drives better financial performance. Let's just zoom in on that first benefit for a second, strategic agility. This is about so much more than just being fast. It's about having the clarity and the data-backed confidence to make smart, swift decisions when the stakes are at their highest. It really all comes down to this, the ability to pivot. Not to panic, not to freeze up, but to see a shift happening in the market and confidently adjust your course. That is what true agility really means in practice. Okay, so we've established the why, and we've seen that leadership is absolutely crucial. But resilience is not a C-suite pet project. It is an all-hands-on-deck effort. So who exactly needs to be involved here? The short answer? Pretty much everyone. Resilience isn't something you build in a silo. It requires a whole ecosystem to be trained and aligned. From the board setting the vision, all the way down to the frontline employees who are the first to face disruptions, everybody needs to be speaking the same language. And crucially, this even extends to your key external partners. Because let's face it, your organization's resilience is only as strong as your supply chain. All right, let's circle back to what might be the single most important idea in this whole framework. This is so key. It's not about a painful, disruptive transformation. It's about a smart, efficient transition. A perfect way to think about this is like a strategic upgrade. You're not junking your car and trying to build a brand new one from scratch. No way. You're enhancing the engine, you're upgrading the systems, and you're making what you already have work better, smarter, and faster. And the contrast here could not be clearer. The old way, that dreaded word transformation, it often means high costs, disruption to everything, and teams that just resist it. The BRF approach, transition, is just so much smarter. It's efficient, it builds on your existing strengths, and it integrates with what your people already know how to do, which makes getting buy-in so much easier. This transition model is so effective because all these advantages just build on each other. By using the tools you already have, it's more efficient. That efficiency means you can be more deliberate and scale things gradually. And because it aligns with how people already work, you get genuine employee buy-in, which then lets you make really focused improvements without breaking the stuff that was already working just fine. Ultimately, this is what elevates the BRF way beyond just a simple risk spreadsheet or a continuity plan. It's proactive. It weaves resilience right into the fabric of your long-term strategy, your day-to-day culture, and a constant cycle of getting better. So, implementing the business resilience framework isn't just another corporate project to check off the list. It's a real opportunity. It's a chance to consciously transition your organization into a stronger, more adaptable, and truly resilient future. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The old model was all about being built to last, like a fortress. But in today's world, that's just not enough. So the real question you gotta ask is this: is your organization built to last, or is it built to adapt?